TV.com. Now it's time to watch Justin lash out against the other roommates. You better believe that an all-new episode of The Real World is next.
He's the person who has a problem.
Justin.
Previously on The Real World.
Are you gay? Are you gay?
Yes.
All right.
Damn, I feel sorry for you, Justin, because Tech is screaming, "Are you gay? Are you gay?" It's just not a nice thing to walk into.
This is the true story.
Of 7 strangers.
Picked to live in paradise.
Yay, yay.
Work together.
Have their lives taped.
To find out what happens.
When people stop being polite.
To start getting real.
The Real World, Hawaii.
Well, why don't we just give a huge round of applause for Augie T.
I look at the Barbie dolls in the Kmart. They can get the Popolo Barbie doll. That's an African-American Barbie doll. They get Oriental Barbie dolls. Like, hey, where's the local Barbie doll? Get plenty hickeys on her neck. I don't know, the gay Barbie doll, the Mahu Barbie doll. Barbie's body, Ken's head.
Oh, God, this is so loud.
I used to think, as a defensive teenager, I've got to have a line. I've got to have a snappy response. I no longer need comebacks because I realize that every moment of harassment brings its own comeback.
What about gays in the military?
He makes a few gay jokes, and I guess Justin takes offense to him. I didn't really find him offensive. Maybe that's because I'm not gay.
The way Augie T set it up sounds funny. But I think everything he does sounds funny.
You think it was funny?
Yeah.
Some of it was.
Were you just listening or were you watching?
I was watching.
He handles himself well, I think. Oh, is this the first time you've been here or second?
First time.
First. We go to KCCN to promote our upcoming concerts at Local Motion.
Hey, Randy.
Nice to see you. What's up, brother? Nice to see you. How's it?
What's happening? Well, actually, we got our friends. We got Augie, Tom over here, Colin, and Justin is over here from our friends from Local Motion. Well, we actually missed you, man. How you been?
I've been well, enjoying the island.
What you been up to?
You know, a little North Shore, relaxing, checking out the Wahines.
What do you think about the local wahine?
I'll tell you what, the women out here are the most beautiful in the world, in my opinion.
Oh my God, that is a great answer.
And when Matt starts speaking, he starts participating in what's happening in this room, which I just found to be ugly.
It's awful news nonetheless for women in Alabama. Lawmakers in Alabama are trying to outlaw the vibrator.
Oh my God.
What do you feel about that? Do women have the right to be rubbed the right way?
Well, I feel, never mind, we won't talk about that.
And a heavy, heavy part of that is talking about women in an objectifying sense, in a silly sense, in a demeaning, small sense.
Hey, Justin, you ready?
No thanks. No thanks. Came to accompany Matt.
Justin appears sour. Immediately my thoughts are, uh-oh, Justin's not so happy. I feel bad for the fact that he is feeling melancholy. You know, I'm sort of at a loss.
Matt, Justin, Calvin, our friends from Local Motion.
Come to Local Motion tonight, please. Mahalo. Look at him, on the fly humor, brother. Nice to see you again, Dave. Nice to see you, brother.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, man.
We have so much stuff going on right now, so you kind of came into it in the midst of, like, chaos, but that happens every day, so.
Okay. No, I'm used to it. I used to work at a talent agency. I'm interning at Kathy Muller, which is an everything kind of agency, and they handle models as well as acting talent.
I'm gonna try and get registered at the talent agency that Maya's working at. I'm trying to have them send me on auditions.
You sexy thing, you. I'd love to see you on TV.
I'd love to see me on TV. That's my girl!
Kaya had an appointment to see a talent agent, so I said, whatever, I might as well come. Hopefully I can make some money.
You're an actress? Is that right?
Aspiring.
Aspiring actress, okay. For Colin, I think you'd work really well with our Asia clients, because you have
that all-American boy next door look that they really like.
And your commercial market?
You got to be open to doing whatever.
Yeah, I feel that, definitely.
Yeah.
Modeling is part of a collection of things that I'm interested in terms of the way I want to use my body to express certain things.
It seemed like you were in a pretty good mood until the time we got at the radio studio.
Do you have any idea why I didn't like anything about that radio station, what happened there?
I didn't know whether you were thinking Matt's just taking over and pushing me away, or this comedian is here and I didn't want to see him ever again.
I have a running tab in my head. What percentage of this conversation is premised upon a constantly discussed heterosexuality and constant references to women in what I found to be a degrading fashion? What you find time and time again is that they, white heterosexual men, just haven't thought about it. Never occurred to them, never crossed their mind. But I was just like, God, you know, like, why are men talking this way?
There were no gay jokes in the radio studio. What exactly is he taking offense to?
You go in there and you start talking in a way that is just kind of gross, and I'm like...
But see, I think that is just being, in my mind, hyper-defensive.
That's sad. I think he feels threatened by it. I think his image is threatened by it because he tries so hard to maintain a sensitive image, to treat people well, to be caring, etc., etc., etc. I would say, after I've spent 10 minutes in a room of men, 75% of whose comments are about blatant heterosexuality and just...
The way you say that, it sounds as though it's negative. Blatant heterosexuality.
Yeah.
Right. I honestly believe Justin is heterophobic. You know, I don't know if that's a new term or whatnot, but you know, everyone's well aware of those who are homophobic, but Justin is heterophobic.
You asked me to talk to you, I talked to you. I don't think anything more constructive is going to come from this right now.
So we're probably gonna have to make like 2 batches a day.
Justin and Kaya have this crazy idea where they're gonna fast, not smoke and not drink, and they asked me to be in on it, but no way. I think I'd pass out.
Losing weight for me was a 2-year gradual process. And what I found is that you do have to change your diet. This fasting is not without anything at all. It's a concoction of lemon juice and cayenne pepper and maple syrup.
I don't have any deep spiritual purpose about fasting. It's really just to keep Kaya company. I was kind of bored and she wanted to do it.
They're gonna start a fasting call. Dude, I try fasting every year on 2 holidays and I never make it.
And coming here and having gained 9 pounds since I got here, it's been making me feel heavy. Anyway, I can afford to lose some damn weight. Believe me.
Pretty fat.
I am getting fat.
She's not fat. She looks great. She just needs to chill.
Everything tastes like salt.
I see I did put too much salt in there, and it's the wrong kind of salt.
The fast day 1. It's been pretty amazing.
I've never experienced anything quite so strange. This is really making me feel lightheaded. It's unbelievable.
It's making me feel pukey. Right now, I'm a little dizzy. I've got a ripping headache.
Don't worry. This is good for you.
What if I throw up then?
So? You've never thrown up before in your life?
I'm gonna go try. Oh, boy.
Justin, are you okay?
I feel like I just rest.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. I think we're playing with fire here, Kai. And that came back up, a little salt water.
But there is a disclaimer in the book, so we can't really sue anybody.
Okay, is there anything else you want to tell me about this diet that I don't know yet?
You read the book. Go read it.
Maybe I will.
Oh! Stop! Oh! Stop! Ow! Quit it.
For 4 weeks, every other night, I feel them rocking the bunk. And yet nobody ever asked me because the assumption is they're heterosexual, they're normal. So I go to her after work. She's sitting in the van.
Justin says to me something along the lines of, my room is a 2-person room and I don't want you sleeping there anymore.
And I knew her reaction would be unhappy, but I was blown away by how severe it was. Amaya starts crying, storming about the house, literally incapable of handling this request. My motivation for asking Amaya to leave our room isn't just strictly the fact that it got a bit crowded at times. Beyond that, it had to do with basic issues of respect and a need for a certain kind of basic fairness.
You look so sexy when you cry.
There's 2 very easy solutions to this. You could sleep here, or just as easily sleep in your bed.
I think about why it's so much more likely that heterosexual roommates wouldn't ask and wouldn't think to ask about the kind of behavior Colin and Amaya have exhibited, whereas a gay roommate has to walk into every kind of situation like that with what they've been told for years and years, which is expect that you're different, expect that what you're doing will make people uncomfortable and a bit squeamish, and you better clear it if you're going to do something like that. In that sense, I think sexuality is involved here.
Like, the thing that pisses me off about people like him is the way he looks at it is going like, I'm me and I have 3 heterosexual male roommates. And I think that's the big difference, is that he sees it between those lines and we don't. When someone does that, he stereotypes the people he meets, he's prejudiced against the people he meets, he's the person who has the problem.
Because even in our conversation we just had over there, he'd say, you know, I just went into the radio station and was in a bad mood because of my past. And it's just, oh, okay, I'm supposed to understand what that means, even though every time you've had an opportunity to explain anything about your past, you've decided not to, and instead to walk away.
I certainly haven't talked a hell of a lot about my background to people in the house yet.
Once people have started asking me questions, I was suddenly confronted with a new question, which was, do you want these people to know you, and how well?
Now thinking about how I've been so silly about conflict and how the answer was just kind of there. Because if anything, the conversation I had with Matt showed me that nobody in this house really has an idea. By the time I cool down, I always think, why couldn't you laugh that off? Why couldn't you rise above? Why couldn't you find a better way to talk to him about this when it's so important to you? I told you about the school that I went to for 2 years, the amazing one. When I started college, we were all really young, you know? I mean, I had just come out of school that year, and this was the first real person that I dated. It was this adorable guy, and I was really excited. I mean, I was such a kid. I was so excited, you know? And I'm like, Mom, I'm dating someone, you know? And so he had written a letter to a mutual friend of ours about what was going on, and he had sealed it. His parents came into his room, opened it, read it, and then quickly enrolled him in a seminary to make him straight, whatever. He didn't come back to school. And his parents were certain the school had done this to him, that, you know, I had done this to him, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
And it said that his parents were suing the school and then were having me arrested for statutory rape because, unbeknownst to any of us, the age of majority in Massachusetts was 16. He was 15. I guess I learned when I was 16 how to be devalued, you know?
But it sounds like they're saying if you weren't gay, this wouldn't be an issue.
Well, you've nailed the subtext.
It's like every time I say, my dad died of AIDS, and people say, oh, was he gay? You know? And I'm just like, yeah. It's this shared desire to let the world know how important it is to be sensitive to each other's differences that I know that he and I both have, that will connect us, that does connect us pretty deeply.
So when I hear people saying that I'm making it up, or that I'm looking to be a victim, it just sounds deadenly close to, you created this problem.
The anger that he has and the sadness that he has are all a part of what make him who he is, but they're not everything.
Your conversation with him sparked a lot of things in him. And he eventually came to realize that there were certain things that people don't know about him that he assumes a certain amount of knowledge, which is true for everybody.
For him to assume any of us know is ridiculous because he asks a lot of questions without giving any sort of context or any sort of answers.
Yeah, and I think he realized that.
And what I realized based on our conversation is that Justin is very sensitive and perhaps not as comfortable as we all think with his own emotions.
Hopefully he'll realize that Justin has cause for feeling the way he does, and also, you know, on the one hand because things have happened to him, and on the other hand just because of who he is, and he's, you know, he has every right to feel what he feels regardless.
You're responding to me really positively, and like I said to him, you know, I think there is a chance that Matt will come to you and talk to you about this again.
We've had plenty of conversations since then, but it's been surface and, you know.
Yeah, but at least...
And it'll come. I'm going to give Justin a healthy dose of kindness, and hopefully there'll be a time when we become close again, because I don't think one argument is a deal breaker with regards to a friendship, but we'll just have to see what happens.
Hello? Hi, it's Ann, Kathy Mullers.
Hi, how are you doing?
We have an interview she can make it between 5 and 7 tonight.
Japan TV, that's what she said it was.
That's sweet.
I know, right?
Tell Colin to wear his leopard G.
Oh boy. See, I told you it's gonna be all cute people. I seem to have the boob advantage here, though.
Is this some kind of like spiritual awakening in him?
No, it's the fact that you haven't had food in 2 days.
Why are you fasting? I mean, come on now. I don't know about you, but a 7-day fast is starvation.
Basically, the bottom line is that I feel horrible.
I'm not feeling good. That's basically it. I feel like my body's eating itself.
If I were listening to what my body was telling me right now, I would be eating because I feel so bad.
Eat. I'm making lentil soup tonight. You can have some.
Okay.
I think everybody needs to hear certain things at certain moments, and she was right there to do that, and she did it in the right way.
I think that Justin is going to be really disappointed in me, though.
Oh, tell Justin to blow it out his ass.
I needed someone to say, you know what, that's just silly.
Good luck.
Yeah.
You can leave it.
And what is your name, please?
My name is Kaya, and I'm from Kathy Muller.
And face the opposite direction, please. Can you water ski?
No.
Okay. Can you swim?
Yes.
Okay, Kaya. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Hello. I go there with a huge sense of humor because I just think the whole thing is ridiculous.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. I can't be a model. I'm 5'2".
I'm Colin. I walk in like I own the place. I'm making jokes to these people because I don't care. I just go in to have fun.
And Colin, have you ever swam before?
I swim like a fish.
結構泳ぐ上手です。はい、19インチです。29ぐらい。
I'm just in it to go in, have some fun, get some experience, make some jokes, make some money.
You're smart. What were they doing to you?
Did you have to show your Peter?
Come on.
They made you get naked.
Why did it take so long?
They had to measure like all of my measurements and stuff.
Interesting.
Interesting.
I'm all for being a big star. I just don't think it's in the near future for me.
When you came up to me after that evening and we were talking about Augie, I knew exactly what you were talking about right when you came up.
I said at a meeting that I wanted us to have a discussion before inviting him back.
Yeah.
There are times when it's absolutely crucial to think very, very carefully about people's differences.
Where do we draw the line?
If there are problems really demand discussion, so I hope we have one about that. I wrote a tiny little memo to Calvin that can be directed towards comedians saying, these are our parameters. These are things to not center your performance around. Because we audition bands, right? You can play X loud, you know.
Exactly.
We're looking for this style of music.
Right.
Know. Don't use any kind of lewd obscenities in your songs. There are probably kids in the audience.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
It's the same thing. Topics like sexist references to women, racial and ethnic slurs, degrading comments about sexual orientation or gender identity.
You can't talk about big feet. You know what I'm saying? You can't talk about people with small butts.
You can tell them. You can't.
I mean,
things are going to make me uncomfortable because you book people here. This is our show we run, and if one of us doesn't feel comfortable with it,
Are we auditioning to see if this guy's funny or for content purposes?
I say don't censor the man if he wants to get his laughs off, you know what I'm saying? Because people are going to get offended. That's what comedy's for people to get offended.
Comedy's not about offending people, it's about making people laugh.
What I'm saying is, let's not just censor the man, just totally, you know what I mean?
It's a give and take, like, certain people suck it up because for the group, there would be larger problems if you didn't try to modify the record.
Certain people have concerns, and I think that they should be able to write those down, and they should have him not be able to talk about that. Yeah.
Having done some thinking about the home situation with Colin, Amaya, and Matt, I decided to send them along little cards, kind of a peace offering. I made this peace offering because I realized that the time here in Hawaii is way too precious to be tainted by any kind of anger or discomfort or unhappiness with people where I'm living. It's just too good here.